It's northern Scotland, which features some of the greatest, most remote driving roads in the world. In other words, it's the perfect place for a fifth gear challenge.
Because we want to see if the real-life range of a modern EV can handle a good old-fashioned road trip. And not just any old road trip.
Yes, we are tackling the North Coast 500, and as the name suggests, it's 500 miles long.
And on the north coast?
Yes.
Of Scotland.
The route is a big loop which starts and finishes in Inverness. We'll be going anti-clockwise, heading up the east side first.
The scenery is truly staggering, and every year tens of thousands take a week or two to gently tour around it.
But to truly test the mile-munching power of our EV, we're planning to only stop to recharge, eat or sleep.
My weapon of choice is the futuristic Hyundai Ioniq 5.
On paper, Hyundai's new EV should be the perfect car for our journey. Its 73 kilowatt-hour battery gives it a range of nearly 300 miles.
And its roomy interior means Vicky and I shouldn't suffer from cabin fever on our marathon drive.
Now, we would love to stop and chat, but it is 1 o'clock and we've got a long way to go before our first stopover. Keys?
No, I'm driving.
What?
Got it. Let's go.
The EV infrastructure has grown to the extent that even this remote chunk of northern Scotland boasts 19 chargers. If they're all working and not occupied, then we shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Okay, so we are now leaving Inverness. We have 97% battery capacity.
That means we should be good for over 250 miles of range. And as our first charging point is only 100 miles up the road, for now we can relax and enjoy the car.
What do you think of the way this thing looks, Vicky?
I absolutely love it. I think it is so eye-catching. It's so different.
Yeah, there's nothing else on the road like it. It looks a bit like the DeLorean, but a DeLorean for your mum. Like a grown-up version of that Back to the Future car.
Yes. Time travel in this particular Ioniq would cost you, or my mum, £42,000. That buys a rear-wheel drive single motor version that can hit 62 miles an hour in a respectable 7.4 seconds. Wowza! We are climbing up. Now this might test our battery a bit. An incline. An EV's mileage is measured in miles per kilowatt-hour. We were currently managing 3 miles per kilowatt-hour, and the Ioniq has a 73 kilowatt-hour battery. So, under these hilly conditions, a full charge would get us 219 miles, about 80 less than the official figure.
However, with 154 miles still left in our particular tank, life in the cabin was still serene.
These seats are really good.
Yeah.
I've got a nice bit of padding here because my arm's been resting
You can put your phone in that gap as well.
Oh, my giddy aunt,
Very
are you kidding
useful.
me?
There you go.
Glory.
Look at that.
Yes, why don't other cars do that? We'd been heading north now for just over 2 hours. It would soon be time to turn left. So we're coming up to John O'Groats soon, which is the most northerly part of the North Coast route.
I've never been.
We have to have a picture by the John O'Groats sign. Please, please, can we stop?
100%.
Yes!
And the reason I'm agreeing to the sightseeing break is this: a quick top-up at the UK's most northerly charging station. And look, the bay's empty. Range anxiety? What range anxiety?
Charging.
Yes, well, our battery to start with was at 97%, and now we're down to 41%. The maximum charge rate for this car is 220 kilowatts, so if you can find a charger that will do that or more, happy days, because it will go from 10% to 80% of battery charged in 18 minutes.
Yes.
This one here will do 120 kilowatts, which is pretty good.
That's a decent speed, actually.
It is,
no, it's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's enough for a photo and a cup of tea.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Should we plug it in?
Yeah. You do that, and I'll look after the financial side of things. Barely 15 minutes later, and the Ioniq was almost back to full strength. How much has that cost us? Let's have a look. Almost £12.
£12, pretty reasonable.
In fact, that had bought us another 53% of range, or around 120 miles at our current rate. The equivalent petrol would have cost us around £20.
Could you unplug, please?
Yes.
It's manual labour. It's not what I do. Thanks.
Are you going to actually do some driving on this
Yeah,
road
I
trip?
will now. Who's got the key?
I'll give it to you.
Join us later as we continue our journey. We've still got almost 400 miles to go and a little more than a day to do it in.
And apparently the charging points get thinner on the ground the nearer we get to the finish line. I'm sure it'll be fine though.